or resistant potato genotypes. To start with, we want to show that potatoes are a major crop in the world, but their production is being hampered by nematodes and other pests. And one of the nematodes is melodine cheatwood, which is also listed as a quarantine pest in the eco list. This nematode also affects besides potato, carrot, and black sauce pie. Currently, the management scenario is being hampered because of the following 4 factors. It has a wide host range. There are no non-hosts, that is, crop rotation cannot be used. And now, because of environmental factors, the nematicide, most of them are being banned. Lastly, there is no resistance which is available in the potato. Now, for the solution, there was a dream project which was launched some years ago. People managed to incorporate resistant genes into the potato, and they also incorporated genes into the resistant fodder radish, which can be used as a rotation crop. And these resistant incorporated genotypes were tested, and a routine resistant test was developed by Teklu and others, and a glasshouse experiment was done, and this was confirmed. Then there were questions which were left when this experiment was done. Still, there is a gap because all these experiments which they used only MC31, which is the smart population, which is from Netherlands. This population is being used here in Belgium and also in Germany. So this project is going to look at finding more virulent melodic and cheatwood populations to use in this routine test and to as the breeding populations. This will be used to develop resistance also in green manure plants. This experiment has also another objective, that is to recheck the testing procedures we are currently having. That is, we included 2 PIs, that is PI32 and PI16. The experiment was carried out at Wageningen Research Station in a climate-controlled environment where 18 to 20 degrees was the temperature maintained during the day and 16 degrees at night. Humidity was maintained at 60 to 70%. We used 2 genotypes, which are the resistant genotypes, that is AR0496 and 2011. These were compared with the Desire, which is the susceptible cultivar, which is already being cultivated. We used 2 PIs like what I mentioned before, that is PI16 and PI32. 20 populations were tested, and among these populations, 2 of them, one is from Belgium and the other is from Germany. That is, the other 18 are from Netherlands. We replicated the densities, that is 4 times, and we got 396 spots. Maybe you might wonder why 396 spots. Some of those nematode populations didn't give us enough inoculum to test them at PI32. So most of my results will concentrate on PI16. MC31, which is the reference, smart population, was used as a standard reference in all this experiment. This experiment, we use an artificial soil mixture, which is made from silver sand, hydrograins, kaolin in a ratio of 6 parts as to 1.5 parts as to 1 part. For extra nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, we added 1 gram per kilogram of NPK granules. We also added micronutrients through standard nutrients. Then these were mixed, and for 1,020 kgs, we add at least approximately 40 liters of water. Okay, going on to the nematode inoculum, which we used. Nematode inoculum was multiplied in the glasshouse, but we were using silver sand only, and this was multiplied on cultivar bolero. And this was extracted, that is, we extracted the whole root system, and we managed to get our inoculum and we prepared our densities. Inoculation was done as per, if you check this diagram, we used inoculating needles where we managed to, we were trying to distribute the nematodes evenly in the pot. For planting, we used tuber pieces where we cut the tubers in such a way that they were giving us almost the same size and almost the same weight. And these tubers were planted just after nematode inoculation. That is, we always use this a system of inoculating nematode first, trying to mimic the natural environment. These tubers, like what I said, were planted each per each pot in a depth of 5 centimeters. And these pots were covered by black plastic to avoid splashing and contamination and also water loss. Moving on to the measurements we took on this experiment, we took the height as a growth indicator. We also measured fresh tuber weight. We extracted nematodes from the whole root system, that is to get final population, and also from the soil. Using this one was used for extracting from soil, and 800 gram sample was used. But for this one, we used the whole root system to minimize the errors. We counted around 200 nematodes. That is to reduce the counting error and also to reduce the poisonous error. Quality of the tubers was also assessed, where we used 2 indexes, one industrial and one for checking for seed potatoes. The industrial one is this tuber node index, and this one is used for seed potatoes. This one we followed Visa and Coca 2004. Let's cross over to our results. As for the growth, all the plants, they followed a logistical growth curve, except the plants which were inoculated by MC69. These are the diagrams of this green one is showing the MC69. As you can see, it's going a little bit higher as compared to this one with MC31 and all other populations. And this was the scenario only in the resistant genotypes, not in the desire. As you can see, in desire, the graphs are following each other and they are on the same maximum height. As for the fresh tuber weight, we didn't see much difference on the fresh tuber weight, and this was the only difference we saw was across the genotypes, not among the populations we inoculated. We compared this with MC31, which is always on my graphs, most of my graphs, it's always on the far left. So this MC31, these dots represent different populations. As you can see, they are almost on the line. But if you compare it across the genotypes, we can see that there's a slight difference. But this was not significant when we measured it statistically. We went on to our important result, which was the final population density, where we use the whole root system. On my left, I have the Scout Desire, where you can see some peaks of more than 250 nematodes, that is juveniles per gram of dry soil. On the other hand, we saw that the number of nematodes, that final nematodes, was very low. Like they couldn't even exceed 0.15 juveniles per gram of dry soil. This means we can say that we had a 99% reduction of the PI which we inoculated, that is PI 16. We also calculated the relative susceptibility, where we saw that our resistant cultivars, that is the era 04, 96 and 2011, they managed to maintain their partial resistance of almost 99%. That is regardless of the population which was inoculated in the different potato genotypes. As for the zero, the relative susceptibility is always 100%. The tuber quality index, which was measured using 2 limits, that is, we have a limit of 10 and also a limit of 20. This 10 is used industrially when we have more potatoes, and 20 is used when we have the supply is very low. From my 2 graphs, and this line is showing that all the MC population combination of the genotype fell below the 10, which means the quality was still accepted in the industry for both 2011 and AR041. But you could see slightly that AR04 is performing a little bit better than 2011 M1. Going on to cultivar Desire, there was no tuber which could be accepted industrially. As you could see, it couldn't even match the 21, which is like the highest limit which is used in the industry. As for fraction of clean tubers, which is used for seed potatoes, where the whole potato is peeled, that is up to the 5 millimeter depth. If you look at AR04, 4096, we can see that the fraction of clean tubers was almost the best as compared to this one. It was better actually as compared to 2011. And for the zero, it barely exceeded 40%. We can see between these varieties that this one performed better at same PI as compared to 2011 M1. Okay, for a glimpse of this, we can just say Desire, as you can see, maybe the pictures are not that clear, but you could see some bumps, that is some gouts here. If you compare with these two, which look a little bit cleaner than this one. This takes us to our summary and so as our conclusion for this experiment. When we inoculate a MC population and we compare it with the MC31, we found out there was no difference in the resistance among the population, the potato genotypes, that is 2011 AR041. Although, as you saw on this graph with the of Desire, we found that the peaks were different. That is, the absolute PF numbers were different. That we have different peaks. And there was not much difference between the PIs used. This can give us that our third objective, that our procedures are still okay and we can still use them. And here we didn't see any deviation from the resistance of the genotypes. So we can strongly conclude that among the 20 population, there was no virulent population which was detected. If we look at the fresh sugar weight, like we saw before, we can just saw that there was no significant difference in the sugar weight as a result of this population. And finally, we didn't see any difference in the sugar quality, regardless of the population which were inoculated. Let me take this opportunity to thank all the listed people here, and also people who are listening to me right now. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Thank you. Very nicely in time. Even additional time for questions. I will start with Professor Frank.
Thanks for your presentation. That was really interesting. You, in your tests, you inoculated with hatched juveniles. That's a mass inoculation that you wouldn't get in the field. Why didn't you use eggs, or better still, egg masses, to replicate a situation that's more akin to the field situation?
Okay, if you look at eggs, that is, we still want them to hatch. So if we put, like, let's say 20 eggs, we are not sure if we're going to get 20 juveniles. But some will hatch, some won't hatch. So it's better to know that we are giving the plant more pressure by giving it the juveniles. So I think juveniles is like trying to give it the more pressure so that if we see an action, we know this is the strongest plant we can get.
Okay, that's fine. You state that there's no yield losses. That Melodigaini Chipwade, there's no yield losses according to that nematode reported in the Netherlands. So why is it important? Why do you think this nematode is important if there's no yield loss?
Okay, I think for me it is important. There's no yield loss, of course, but some they've reported the yield loss. But if you look at this potato, I don't think it can be accepted anymore. That means there is a loss quality-wise, as well as losing the whole tuber, because it's no longer consumable by anyone. So we can say there's no yield loss. Yes, we measure the weight and everything, but if these are tubers for consumption of people, but if they cannot eat something like that, so we can say we can lose even everything without saying that we lost yield. We lost the quality and we lost the potato.
So would you think that there's a different definition of yield loss ought to be changed? Because essentially, although you've got the tubers, they can't be used. So the yield is not usable.
I think, Bosley, like here, we can take yield as the weight of the tuber. But if you are like the industrial thing I was talking about, like people, they want potatoes to, let's say, for seed. If they want a clean potato, like for seed, it's like zero tolerance. But if it is like let's say one cow, it's not accepted. We lose the tubers, but we can say we didn't lose the yield because the factor which we're using to measure the yield is not the factor maybe which is used in the industry. So yes, I can say, yes, we cannot change, but we can also use other things to say we have a loss, not like only using yield to see that there's a loss.
One of the problems with the type of work you're doing and the type of work that your supervisor has been doing is how you deal with zeros. And you have zeros in your data.
Yeah.
Tell me how you dealt with zeros.
With the zeros, we replaced the zeros with the lowest number of the replicates. That is the lowest number of EFI which was obtained on the replicas. That's the one used to replace the zeros.
Okay.
Because we say we cannot find a zero if you put like, let's say you have for example, you put a needle in a haystack. You know you put it, but if you want to find it, you might not find it. But it's there. So we know the zeros, they are not there, but we can use the lowest value so that it doesn't affect our graph when we are analyzing.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, thank you.
Dan Professor Verjaarden. Questions?
Okay, I'll continue further on the zeros and the counting, because in the slides you explained, and also in your writing, you write that you count at least 200, 300 juveniles.
Yes.
And so, what if you count 200, 300 juveniles, then you stopped? Can you explain a little bit better what you mean with just counting 200, 300 juveniles?
Okay, let me start by saying it's not a fixed number, but it's a number. If you like for the zero, it's always above that number in a mean. But for the certain genotypes, most of them we couldn't find 200, so we count the whole suspension. We don't stick to the 200 as a fixed thing. And if you don't get 200, we don't count. We just count the whole suspension so that we don't have errors.
And for Desiree, how did you count them?
For the zero, most of the populations, they always reach like in a meal more than 200 nematodes, juveniles. So
and then you stopped counting.
Yeah, if you count 200, stop counting. Because according to the graphs which you done, if you continue to count, you are just wasting time. Because if you go 250, the error doesn't go down.
So how can you know the final population then on Desiree?
The final
Population density, PF.
Yeah, we calculate using, like, this is the gram of dry soil. Then we extrapolate the population per report.
Okay. And there's another thing I don't understand very well that you've written. The number of tapings was determined by hatching information from dummies and fitting the hatching curve. What do you mean?
Okay.
Is this on the Berman file?
Or like when we are using the roots, we put them in the misty chamber, that is the whole root system. So we need a time when to stop to collect the samples. So according to other researches which were done before, they realized that if they continue to hatch, like the graph will go and it will have a signal that there's no more hatching. So that's the time we need to collect the maximum population in the tubers or in the roots.
Okay, and what are the dummies?
That one maybe I might not explain more, but that's what I was trying to explain when I wrote that one. That it's like a time which determines when to stop when you are counting the nematodes. Because we might just, if you continue to, we might just continue to collect and collect and collect. You don't know when to stop. So we follow other researches which were done, like for hatching of malaria chicken.
Okay. And what you found with MC 66 or 69 was interesting. You become more yield than with the other populations. So it has a stimulating effect on the growth of the plants.
I'm not sure about that. I can't say.
As you showed the graphs.
Yeah, I can't say. Yeah, the graph are showing that, but
This one? No, I'm talking about this one.
yeah, we saw this height. It was a little bit higher, but this was only on these genotypes, the resident genotypes, but not on disease. So maybe I can say they still need to investigate this, why it was like this.
Mm-hmm. So I thought the farmer who has MC69 in the field, he has a stimulating effect on resistant potatoes from the population that is present in the field.
But we still have a question why it didn't happen on disease, our reference population. So we still need to investigate this. We can't have a conclusive answer.
Okay. That would be interesting to have some Beloica population
might be interesting.
69. Okay, then also some of the populations still cause damage on the tubers. Some tuber indexes were below 1. So what is the cause of those damaged tubers, do you think? Or do you still have a fraction of tubers that have symptoms?
Okay, besides this index being a human index, which is called by human being, which might show the difference. We can, like if we compare this AR044906 and 1011, they have like different genotypic parents. Like this one is from Solana Bobcastam, and this one is from Espen. This one is tolerance, where a certain number of nematodes is reached, the extra nematode might cause a damage. That is, it has a certain tolerance.
And the damage is caused by nematodes?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So how, if I say I doubt that this blemish is caused by a nematode, how would you prove that it's really caused by a nematode and not just typical for that tuber?
But as for this one, of course, we didn't see much damage outside for the resistant. Of course, we can say we didn't see any. But for Jezir, we saw gauss. That is, if this root nematode, we know that there's a damage when there's like a gap. But for this one, maybe the blemishes were not from nematodes, you can say.
And how would you know for sure if it's not caused by nematodes?
Yeah, we extract nematodes from the tuber. Then we see if they are nematodes.
Okay. Yeah. Can I ask another?
Yes, you can ask the question, no problem.
One time you used the term vitality of the populations, or vitality, and the rest of the time you talk about virulence. Is there a difference between the two? Can you define virulence and vitality?
Okay, by definition, virulence is like on this one, we can say virulent population is the one that could manage to break the resistance and cause damage and give maybe a PF which is almost like the disease. That is, it might break the resistance. But for vitality, these nematodes, when we were applying them, they always have different multiplication rates. That is, some are more active than others. So maybe the attacking thing is also affected by that. That some are more like vigorous as compared with others. But this is not virulence.
Okay, that's good. One last question.
Last question.
Because it's very interesting. If you had to redo the experiment, let's say with other populations, or for example, we want to do the same thing in Belgium, would you recommend us to do exactly the same materials and methods, or how would you change materials and methods? Now that you've done it, where would you improve it?
Okay, maybe I can say, also we don't want to, let's say, waste a lot of time. We can use one of these populations, as we saw, they don't show any difference. Or we can even use one PI. So we reduce the time. But the other, like let's say the other procedures, I think we can still keep them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. And then, unfortunately, your promoter was not able to make it because it's lagging broken. But luckily, we have Takawira here, your supervisor, so maybe he can answer some questions.
I congratulate you first for the nice presentation, Enklebert. What was the reason that we use soil mix that you mentioned in your slide?
What was this one?
The reason, why don't you use soil from outside and use it for experiment? You formulate your own soil for this experiment. What would be the reason for that?
Okay, the first reason is one is contamination by other maybe biotic factors. The second reason, this soil can hold more water, like water holding capacity, up to 20%. And we give every population like the same condition, like the same soil. And we give the nematode more advantage over the plant so that we get the best genotype. What this soil is like. When it was formulated, I think it was the best for this experiment. And if in extraction, it's easier to get nematodes than use, like let's say it was clay. It's not easy when you're extracting the nematodes.
One last question.
Okay. You mentioned that you use only 2 densities, but normally as principle we never use 2 densities. We use a series of densities instead. Finally now we are arriving to use 2 densities. What is the reason behind that?
Okay, we use the lower density and the higher density like 32 because these genotypes, most of them, they highly resistant, like they have 99% phosphorus resistant. So if you use a lower density below 16, you might not get anything. Like, of course, we got nothing somewhere. But 32, we want to get something to count. That is, at least we can count like 200 nematodes and other units.
Okay. That's right.
You know the story of the different populations, how we collected them. And then we multiplied them in acidosa for some of them, and then later on tomato. Can you explain the reason why?
Oh, like on tomato, we wanted to even clean the populations. So using